Hello, everybody. Look, only 5 minutes late today. I just got done telling Emily that I usually run late, so y'all would not be surprised. So, of course, it's my fault, not hers. But welcome to the show today, Emily. Nice to have you. For those that don't know her, this is Emily Cates. Uh, Kate, sorry. I do that every time I talk about you and Lizzie because Lizzie is Kate's and you're Kate. So I do that. Sorry, I apologize. It's Emily Kate. And y'all are in for a treat today having her with us. Her music is beautiful and she is a beautiful person inside and out. So you're going to get to know her a little bit today. So how have you been doing, Emily, during this quarantine time?
Been good. It's actually been nice to have a little more time to focus on music,
Mhm.
and trying to keep busy. So, like, pushing myself to do more things every day. Um, it it has its limitations, obviously. Like
Yeah.
going in and recording. I'm in the middle of recording an EP, so kind of like put that all on pause. But it's been really nice just to kind of slow it down a bit and have more time, and just also to reflect on um, what direction I want to take with my music, all that stuff. I think the silver lining of COVID is that it's allowed people to slow down a bit and say, like, it's okay if I don't do anything today, or to like rethink their hobbies and what they want to do. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's been not very many complaints.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of at first I was like, oh, no big deal. It's not going to last long. And then as it started lasting longer, I have the same mindset that you do. It's like, I really hope it's made people appreciate their family and friends
Hmm.
more, not rely so much on material things.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, we've become so spoiled, I think, in the last 20 years, which I mean, I'm way older than you, but over the last 20 years, we've become so spoiled with modern technology, which has been great through this. And we'll get into that later as far as the artists and stuff go. But I don't, even though technology is great, I think it's taken people away from spending time with family. And this is hopefully, I know it has with our family within our household, but I hope it's made families spend more time together,
Yeah,
like quality time together,
yeah,
instead of just, rushing about. Um, that's kind of my thoughts on it. And unfortunately, my son's, well, fortunately, unfortunately, he's the one you just met. He's had to work because he works in a grocery store. So he's had to be in the middle of the madness of all of this. But,
good for him.
otherwise and I know it's such a financial hardship on the people that aren't able to work,
Yeah,
but the time that they're spending at home, I'm just hoping they're not doing it complaining and they're just enjoying time spent with their family.
yeah, for sure. I think that's really important to try to look at the positive side, right? And
Yeah,
it's something that we can't control. So
exactly.
you can't get if you get in your head about it or get too upset about it, it's just gonna make
Exactly.
it so much worse. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you just can't. Now, do you have any immediate family members that are essential workers that have had to be like in the middle of all of this?
I actually don't. So, my mom's a teacher, so everything's just gone virtual for that.
How did she adjust to
Mhm.
that?
Well, actually, she did something called a 4/5, which is you for 4 years you get 80% of your paycheck, and then you get
Mhm.
1 year where you don't work at all, but you still get 80% of your paycheck. So over the 5 years, you get the same amount of income that you would be making, but it allows you to have some time off. So fortunately for her, she's actually on her year off.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so she personally didn't have to adjust. Her school does, but when she does go back in September, there's still different things because they're still thinking of doing virtual stuff in the fall, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
Um, So she'll definitely have to adjust then. And she's like getting all these email updates about everything that's going on. So it's kind of in the back of her mind. But I know that it's been pretty hard for them to flip the switch. And like you have to create all of the content virtually now. And whereas before you just show up. And so, yeah, fortunately she wasn't working at the time. And then my dad is a consultant, so he can just do that virtually as well.
That's good.
It's been no one on the front lines, but I really appreciate everyone on the front lines. It's incredible what they're doing.
For sure. I sympathize so much with the nurses, especially because by profession, I am a nurse, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to work as one for the last several years. And so I can just imagine how things are for them, and I sympathize with them. I have quite a few friends, obviously, that are nurses, so I can't imagine just being in the thick of things like that. The stories I've heard from Zachary, just how the grocery stores are, is enough for me. So I can't imagine having to be any deeper into it. But like you said, I'm so thankful for those that are out there and are giving so selfishly, or not selfishly, but unselfishly. Said that wrong. That are just so giving of their time and time spent away from their families. And, you know, it's rough on them. But I'm really appreciative of them. But on the music side of things, it's been rough on you guys as well, too, because, you know, like you said, you had to stop recording your EP, and so many artists are just dependent on, and I don't think the world gets this. This is kind of a neat conversation I had on my interview yesterday with, I can't remember which one it was that told me this. I've been on an interview marathon this weekend. So, but it was like, I think some people automatically think if you're a musician, if you're an artist, and you've got some songs on Spotify, that, oh, you must not have any money troubles.
Yeah.
And that's a huge misconception. You guys are definitely dependent on not just putting songs out, but playing somewhere live.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't get to do that, it's really cuts into your income and just your whole way of life. It just kind of flips you upside down.
Yeah.
How have you been adjusting to that?
Yeah, it definitely was harder at the beginning, for sure. But like I had a few shows lined up in March and April, and those got canceled, obviously, for good reason. I totally understand. But it's more so that as an artist and songwriter, I write from my experiences, and I really like connecting with fans and everyone out there. I love about music. That's what drew me to music in the first place. So not having that is very hard to find inspiration, find motivation. And since it's gone on so long,
right.
Some days it's definitely harder than others. But I'm also super thankful for social media, because that's how we're actually still surviving. Without that, we wouldn't be. So that's really nice in and of itself. But definitely live music and live shows is something that I think it's not just artists that miss it. I think it's everyone that misses it. And
oh yeah, for sure.
I think it's going to be hard to have a lot of them open up again, because I don't necessarily think from a government's perspective it's a necessary thing to have. It's entertainment, right?
Right.
Which is unfortunate, because I think that it's so important that people have entertainment in their lives. But I understand that essential things are going to be opening first. So
right.
I've heard that in some places in the US, live shows with certain, certain guidelines are starting to open up.
Yes,
so
they are.
We'll see if that happens. Canada is, I'm in Ontario, specifically is completely basically shut down except for essential still. And we haven't really heard about it. And I think it'll be a little while because the cases are still going up. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's different here in the States. The Washington people are allowing the governors of each state to try to decide what, instead of it being, it was in the beginning state by state, and then of course it went the entire United States, and now we're back to kind of state by state. So different ones are allowing different things, and it's crazy because I'm in North Carolina and we're just barely into phase 2. So they're starting to let like hair salons open up and things like that, with much restrictions though. But then South Carolina pretty much opened up wide open. So, and it's so weird because it just depends on which state you're in. And I think a lot of the governors, and I understand this, but they're looking at their economy versus the number of cases.
Yeah.
And they, certain places just don't or can't afford to lose any more of their economy. So it's changing that way. But, they've all said if we see the numbers start spiking up, then we'll go back. But we'll see how that goes. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But enough of the COVID. I know that's everybody's topic. So, of course, we had to touch on it, but we're not going to dwell on it.
Yes.
So were you going to play for us today?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. You want to start us off with a song?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. I have my guitar beside me. Always prepared to play.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I always have to take my one ring off before I play.
It gets in the way.
Yeah, I can't do bar chords with it. It doesn't allow me to press the string properly. Sometimes I forget and I'm in the middle of playing. I'm like, oh well. So I will play one of my originals. I did it on the virtual roundtable that we had. It's called Could Be Both. Not sure if you remember that one, but I've been getting really good feedback from it. And it's one of my favorites that I've written to date. So this is called Could Be Both.
All right.
It ain't you, it ain't me. This mess lies somewhere in between. It ain't fair, but I swear there was something there we just couldn't see. Why hold on to something that's already gone? Could be the way that you held me so tight. I can't forget getting lost in your eyes. Could be the way time stood still for a while. I can't forget putting my lips on your smile. Are we in love and not letting go? Could be both. We tried more, we tried friends, but in the end it came back again. Why hold on to something that's already gone? Could be the way that you held me so tight. I can't forget getting lost in your eyes. Could be the way time stood still for a while. I can't forget putting my lips on your smile. Are we in love or not letting go? Could be both. We're looking for rhyme or reason to hang on tight or let go with the season. Or are we holding on to something that's already gone? Could be the way that you held me so tight. I can't forget getting lost in your eyes. Could be the way time stood still for a while. I can't forget putting my lips on your smile. Are we in love or not letting go? It ain't you, it ain't me, so I suppose could be both.
Wow, Emily. I remember you doing that in the round table. And oh my gosh, how far you have come in just that amount of time.
Thank you.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
And not to insinuate that it wasn't good before. It was definitely good before. But oh my gosh, your voice has developed into a different realm. That was beautiful. I was completely sucked in by that and like hanging on every word.
Oh,
that was beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, I loved your music before, but I don't know what you've done or what you're doing, but whatever it is, keep doing it. Gosh, that was beautiful. Oh, I just loved it. Now, have you already released that as a single?
No.
Okay.
So I actually don't have any music on Spotify yet.
I didn't think so. Think so, unless I had missed it.
Yeah. So it's been, I've taken a different route than a lot of, I guess, musicians or artists. There's no route to take, but
right.
I just graduated university I finished last August and graduated in October. So very recently. And I went to university for business. So I've done music my whole life. Parents put me in piano lessons, which was great. Learned the theory that way. But it was classical piano. So I got to like grade 7 or something, and I was entering into high school, and I just didn't like it as much. And then I was in choir in high school, and always singing. That's just a passion of mine for sure. But I didn't even get a guitar until maybe 5 years ago. So I got a guitar 5 years ago, kind of just, my dad had one growing up. But yeah, so just kind of playing around with that. And then I didn't even get very serious about my music until maybe 2.5 years ago. And then started kind of pursuing my own sound, writing my own music. So this EP that I've been working on would be the first release of Emily Cade that I will have out there.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, and everybody has, like you said, everybody has a different route that they take, and that's fine. It's whatever suits you best. But yeah, you definitely have a unique sound. You don't sound like anybody else, and that's very much a compliment. Yeah. I think there's a lot of singers out there that try to sound like their idol or their, whoever inspires them the most. And I always think that's a wrong direction. I mean, I think you need to have your own sound, be unique. You don't want to sound like, it's okay if you sound a little bit like somebody, or, you know, I might like Lizzie, for instance. Okay. We know she loves Taylor Swift. She's obsessed. And sometimes when she sings, she can sound like her.
Yeah.
If she wants to.
Yeah, for sure.
But then again, she has her own unique sound.
Yeah.
So, you know, something like that is okay. But I love your individuality. I love that. Your uniqueness. It's definitely, if you come on the radio, I'm going to know you're Emily. I'm not going to have to think, well, who's that singing? No, I'm going to know. So I think that's a great thing. So how many songs do you foresee on this EP that's going to be coming out? And any idea when it's coming out?
Yeah. So originally it's 4. It was 4. Kind of the minimum for an extended play, like an EP. But now, so like Could Be Both wasn't actually in those 4 because I only wrote it in the fall. But for sure, because of that song and others I've written, we're thinking 6, or like honestly even extending it to an album at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just because there's so much inspiration going around, and
right.
Yeah, and I like, this is definitely what I want to do. I think before, and I think in high school and university and stuff, I've always was like, oh, well, music will just be a hobby. Like, I love it, but it's a good hobby to have. And I started more and more and more and more. And I was like, no, I want this to be what I do. So yeah, right now it's just 4 songs, and I'm going to start releasing them single by single just to get more promotion on them because I don't have anything out there. And the first one was supposed to be June, so very soon. But it's now looking like maybe end of July, because I still have to go and record the final background vocals, basically. So we did the lead vocals, and all of the tracks are edited and on the song, but just finishing up the final touches. And then because it's my first song, having time to upload it, and then having the weeks to promote it properly, all that.
Right.
So definitely first song, summer of 2020.
Yay!
I'm definitely going to have one out there. Yeah, so that's really exciting. And then the other ones will kind of trail behind. Still planning on, still kind of hashing out kind of the release timeline. But it's really exciting, and I can't wait. Like, working on this has been unbelievable. It's been so fun.
I bet you are super excited about it. I am excited about it. And I'm especially excited for Could Be Both. Could Be Both. Oh, God, I can talk today. Especially excited for that one to come out. Yeah, that is going to be so good. So, do you, and I know this is always the question everybody asks, if you sing, you must be going to New York, LA, or Nashville. Or are you staying planted in Canada?
Yeah, so I think for now, I'm planning on staying in here. I think that there's a lot you can do. I was supposed to visit Nashville in May, so right now. I'm supposed to go there with the producer I'm working with and have some rights with people, introduce myself. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
But that obviously got put on hold. So definitely more trips to Nashville. I haven't been, which...
Oh, you're going to love it. Oh, my God. Okay, be prepared when you go. You may totally change your mind and be like, okay, I'm coming to Nashville for good.
I know. That's what my parents said. They're like, okay, fun, but like secretly, obviously your parents are like, come back. Yeah, they don't want their kid to be super far away. But yeah, so right now, just staying here is the plan. I think there's a lot of, I think even though Toronto is more rap culture, or like it's not so much country, Nashville is country. So even though my genre of my music doesn't really fit in with a lot of what's going around in Toronto, I think there's still really good opportunities in Toronto and in the GTA. So I think starting here and kind of building my fan base and building my music from here, it will be nice to have some roots in that place. And then, I mean, I am not opposed to, I will see when I visit Nashville, but I know I'm going to love it.
Oh, you are definitely going to love it. It is, I love Nashville. I tell everybody, if I could talk my husband into it, I'd be there. I'd be there in a heartbeat. I love it. It's a great place. And you have a good mixture of city and country. So, if you want to live in town, there's that. If you want land and live out in the country, there's that. And you're still not far from downtown Nashville. It's just, and there's just so much and more than just music. There's just so much that Nashville has to offer. I love it. So I'm hoping one of these days I'm going to be able to talk him into it. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So you said your dad had a guitar when you were growing up. Is your family musical, or did he just kind of just play for the fun of it?
Yeah, I'd say my family's pretty musical. It's mostly my dad. So he had a guitar. He still has it, actually. It's super old, and the strings definitely need to be replaced. But yeah, he had a guitar when growing up, and then he hasn't played it in a while, but he would always play it every once in a while. He's a good voice. It's very smooth and warm, and so I think obviously parents are one of your idols looking as a kid growing up. So I think that definitely helped my music education for sure. And then with piano, I have two brothers, so all three of us did piano as well. And then my brother got into guitar a bit earlier than I did. So in the middle of high school, he got his own guitar, and then excuse me. It's like contagious from me to you or something like that. Yeah.
My allergies are driving me crazy.
Yeah. So my brother got into guitar, so he's very musical. He's very good at the guitar. He's more he's finger picking style, which I do in some of my songs, but he's very good at that, like really cool finger picking stuff that I'm still exploring.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely very musical for sure. And I think that's like why we always have music on in the house. And I think, like you said, that I have a very unique sound, and it's different than, it's not, country genre has so many layers nowadays. It's very wide and very open.
Yes, for sure.
So it's kind of hard to say, oh wow, like she sounds country at this point in time. But I think, what am I trying to say? I'm basically saying that if I listen to, like, my dad put a lot of like John Mayer on, and like all these legends, Keith Urban, like all these legends that have kind of pushed the borders of the genre that they're in.
Right.
Yeah. So that's something that I aspire to do, and I kind of look up to. And I think those unique voices and having the different kind of idols to look up to and always have those music to listen to has really made my sound what it is.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And I love it when they do the oh Lord, my brain's not thinking. When artists from different genres come together and do a song together
or something. Yeah.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess the example that sticks out in my head, because they are definitely within their genres, but then they came together and made a song and I loved it, was Nelly and Tim McGraw.
Oh yeah.
When they did Over and Over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you take somebody like, and I love Nelly and I love Tim, but you take somebody like Nelly, he is definitely in his genre of hip hop. Mm-hmm. And Tim is country as he can be.
Yeah.
But yet they blended together so wonderfully. Yeah. I love it when they do those.
Yeah.
I love it. It just proves that music is universal and you don't have to fit into this one little box.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, oh, yeah, I'm country. No, you can be country, you can be pop, you can be a little bit of hip hop all wrapped in together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, take Kid Rock, for instance. He's exactly that, I think. He's definitely a rapper. He's definitely rock and pop, and he's even got a little bit of country thrown in there. So he's like a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you have to anymore, fit into one little box. You can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
And it's going to be accepted. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I love that. Because I like all styles of music. I mean, if you look at my Spotify, it's crazy. I go from one end of the spectrum to the other, and I love it all. So, but I mean, country is my favorite, but I still love everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it depends on my mood. I don't know if you're like this or not. It kind of depends on my mood, on what I want to listen to that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That would be me too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mine's mainly country if you look at my Spotify, but
oh, yeah, me too.
Pop as well, and very rarely rap though, or R&B. But like I've listened to some of my friends who have different kind of musical tastes than I do. Played some of the kind of rap and R&B genre for me, and it's really awesome if you listen to the lyrics. I'm a big person about, like, I love lyrics.
Oh yeah, me too.
Drew me to country music, just from the beginning to the end of a song, it tells a full story, and you can kind of paint a picture for your listeners in their mind. And I think that other genres are doing that too, which is awesome. You just gotta listen enough to hear it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of times, especially with like rap or hip hop, you may not necessarily listen to the lyrics. It's more so the music with that.
Yes. Yeah.
And so if you stop and you listen to the lyrics, you might hate the song.
It could go either way.
Sorry, but true. Or it tells a really neat story. It just depends on the artist. But yeah, so there's some music that I like just for the music, but then like you say, coming back to country is what tells a story.
Yeah.
And I love that. So yeah. So country's your favorite, but do you, like, when you do shows and you do cover songs, like, what's your go-to cover song?
Oh gosh. In terms of artists for cover songs, I'm a huge fan of Kelsey Ballerini. She's country pop.
Yeah.
So it's not a kind of that twangy country that was, I guess, 60 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Which still exists, which is still awesome, but definitely her I go to for cover songs. Lady Antebellum as well. So it's all within country, but I've also covered like Love Yourself by Justin Bieber, and it's like, so songs like that as well. I've done, one of my favorites to cover is Hallelujah, which is done by so many people, but it's just, it transcends, like, it's so good. So I try to mix it up a bit and not stick to one artist the whole time, and then put some originals in there as well, just to keep everyone at the edge of their seats as much as you possibly can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so am I putting you on the spot too much if I ask you to do Hallelujah?
No, you're not. I know how to play it.
Oh yeah, please. Oh gosh, yes, please.
Let me try to remember what key I play it in.
I love that song, obviously, but I love to hear different versions of it and how people interpret it and then put it out.
Yeah. I think this is the key. We'll see. I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlit Overstoria. She tied you to the kitchen chair and broke her throne and cut your hair. And from her lips she drew words, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Mm. Good.
Thank you.
I don't know why that song makes me cry every time. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Very emotional for sure, that song.
It is. And if I was a singer, I don't know how I would be able to sing it.
Yeah.
I really don't. But yeah, it gets you right here. There's just no way around it. I loved it. That was beautiful. All right. Let's have some fun questions.
Okay.
All right. I gotta get my cry face off. I have such an ugly cry. All right. So outside of music, what do you love to do?
I am very sporty, active. So definitely my hobbies also include sports. So throughout university, I actually was on the figure skating team for my university.
Oh, cool.
So that's been a huge part of my life. I started that when I was 4. And I continued it, got very, very competitive about it up until grade 9. And we were talking about homeschooling, so I had enough time to train, all that stuff. And then I kind of just was like, my dream is really not to go to the Olympics, or I love skating, but I kind of had that realization, knowing that I'm going to have to quit sometime. So I was like, I'd rather go to the high school that a lot of my friends from middle school went to, kind of have that more regular high school experience.
Yeah.
So I quit, and then I didn't do in high school, and then I went to my university and knew someone that was older on the team that I used to skate with, and she was like, you should try out. I was like, I haven't been on the ice in 4 years. But I tried out and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. So it was really good. Definitely sports are a huge part of my life too as well. Mm-hmm.
Now, besides figure skating, what would be your favorite sport? Not necessarily to play, but just like watch on TV or whatever.
Hockey.
Hockey. Okay, of course.
Very Canadian.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in North Carolina, I mean, we have a hockey team, but, you know, in North Carolina, hockey's not the first thought.
Yeah.
It's not cold enough here long enough, or people just don't think about that here so much. But I've actually never gone to a hockey game in person, and I would love to. I think it would be so much fun. But playing it, definitely not. I can't even ice skate.
I was gonna ask that, yeah.
No. I tried it a couple of times, and I actually was not bad at it. I mean, I could stand up and I could, you know, I could do it without falling, until I decided one trip we went and took all the kids and went ice skating. And my husband was like ready to go. He's like, I'm done for, let's go. And I was like, okay, just one more lap. Well, I went around and I decided I was just going to spin around backwards. And when I did, my skate hit a rut in the ice and I just fell backwards. And so, of course, I put my hands down like this behind me to brace my fall. Ended up breaking this wrist and right here in 7 different places, and had to have 2 different surgeries on it.
Oh my gosh.
So ice skating, no.
It's a very bad memory associated with ice skating for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
You really won't want to do that anytime soon.
Well, and the bad thing was, it was terrible because all the kids were like, it's not fair, Mom, you haven't fell. And then I had to take that one last lap.
Why'd they say that?
Yeah, really. And it was, you know, catastrophe for me after that. So needless to say, I've not been ice skating after that, because that was a very expensive ice skating trip. So
yeah.
Oh goodness. I just totally lost my train of thought. So a big thing during this quarantine for everybody has been binge watching something that they've missed out on or something new that they've heard about. So have you been binge watching anything?
I mean, sort of binge watching. I've been pretty good about trying to do something for my music every day. So I started Ozark though. So believe it or not, I hadn't started it until I guess 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point. And my family was so excited for season 3 to come out. And they were like all going downstairs and watching it together. And I was upstairs like, well, I feel left out. I can't watch season 3. I haven't watched any of it. So I started it and I love it. It's so good. So I'm probably at season 3, the beginning of season 3 now. So I probably have like 10 episodes left. So I really recommend that one. I know a lot of people have already watched it, but
I've heard a lot of people say they've watched it, and that's one I have not watched.
It's so suspenseful, and the plot, like, it just twists so much. You don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you froze for a bit.
Yep, we froze up for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you were saying it was very suspenseful.
Yeah, and the plot, it twists that you don't know where it's going to go. I find it so cool that something will happen in like the 10th episode, and they would have had to set it up in like the 1st or 2nd episode.
Yeah.
Like the storyline, they set that up so far in advance. It's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
Jason, I think it's Jason Bateman. Saying this wrong, but the main character of Ozark also directs it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is really, really cool.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
super talented. So, and then
No.
I
Go ahead.
always watch Friends. I'm a huge Friends fan, so I kind of put that on. I love how the episodes are shorter. So
Yeah.
if you wanna watch for like 20 minutes, you can, and I put that on just to have a laugh. My roommates at university used to make fun of me because they just like hear laughter coming from my bedroom or wherever, and they're like, "Oh, she's probably watching Friends again."
Oh yeah, that was a great show. I mean, that was a great show. So yeah. So were you one of the ones that got into watching The Tiger King?
No, I haven't.
I didn't either. I did not either. I just didn't.
Yeah.
And it was you either heard like great things or terrible things.
Yeah.
So that one was kind of one way or the other. But the one that I binged watched, and me and my husband binge watched it in one night.
Oh God.
And of course, we regretted it the next day because we were up to like 5 o'clock in the morning. But we just couldn't stop. And so we watched the entire season of The Outer Banks.
I've heard of that. And that probably will be the one I start after I finish Ozark. Yeah.
Yeah. I highly recommend it. It was really, really good. Real good. The only thing, I had a hard time with it because the father in it, it's Charles Eston. Yeah. So did you ever watch Nashville?
Yes, I love that show.
Okay, so he was Deacon in Nashville, and I loved him. Loved him. Well, he's the dad in The Outer Banks.
I already know I'm gonna love this because he's in it.
Yeah, but he's not a likable character.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, and he's one of those characters that you're supposed to hate.
Yeah.
Because he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
But I had trouble hating him because I love him so much.
I also follow him as an artist too. So
oh God, he's great.
It's gonna be so hard if I watch it because I love him as an artist and I loved his character in Nashville. And then if I watch this, I'm gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I was. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then again, if you think of it from an actor's perspective, then kudos to him because he did a great job.
Yeah, that's good acting then, right?
Yeah, he did a great job. I hate that Nashville is not on anymore. I loved that show. I loved it. That was my favorite show. That and you will definitely know this show, Heartland.
Yeah.
Heartland is my favorite. I wait for the next season to come out, and it's so aggravating because it's filmed in Canada. So they're ahead of schedule, way ahead of schedule than we are.
Yeah.
And y'all get a whole season of it and get to watch it and into the next season before we get the previous one.
I didn't know that. I thought American Netflix had a really wide, I know that we don't get some stuff that you get.
Oh, no. Now, Netflix is even further behind. I think Netflix right now, because we just did get to finish watching season 13 of Heartland a few weeks ago.
Wow, 13 seasons.
Yep. We just did get to finish watching that a few weeks ago. And I think on Netflix, they're still on season 12.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It is always definitely behind.
Yeah, but now I think y'all were able to watch season 13 last fall.
Oh.
So that's how far we're 6 months behind, I think. Yeah, and we can't, of course, watch Canadian TV.
Yeah.
So
it makes it that more suspenseful.
Yeah. But it drives me crazy because I love that show. When we first started watching it, it was probably already into maybe the 6th season. And so we binged that. And then we shouldn't have done that. because then I'd still like just be catching up slowly. But it's one of those shows that you can't just watch it and wait. You got to keep watching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I can't think of anything else great that we've like binge watched. The Outer Banks was really good. That was worth it. And we've had several people recommend to us the Ozark. So I'll have to put that on my list since you said it too. But all right. So the famous interview question that I think everybody asks, if you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh. I know it's so hard. I'm trying to think of some of my musical idols growing up, like that just sparked my love for music. But more current people are coming to mind, like Kelsey Ballerini, for example.
Yeah.
I feel like just because she's not much older than I am.
Yeah.
And I feel like as an artist right now, like a lot has changed in the music industry 30 years.
Oh,
ago,
yeah.
Even 20 years ago. Like it's changing like every decade, basically. So
yeah.
I think that I think just the knowledge and what I would get out of someone who's similar in age to me, kind of similar in genre to me, a lot of what I look up to, I think she would definitely be one that would come to mind for sure.
Now, who would somebody non-musical be?
Non-musical.
Did I stump you?
Yeah, well, I have a few like figure skater Olympians that are just one of my, I don't know if you know who Patrick Chan is.
Not right off, no.
So he was on the Canadian Olympic figure skating team. So he won, like, they have like the team events now.
Yeah.
So he was a part of that, and he won a gold medal that way. In the most recent Olympics. So that was when 2018, Sochi.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2018. Yeah. So yeah, someone like him who he's just such a role model. He actually skated out of my club that I used to skate at when I was younger sometimes. And I remember like little tiny Emily, like I was so tiny, and I would skate on the ice and he would be on the same session sometimes, like on the same ice as me. And whenever his music came on, like his program, like everyone, like, you get out of the way, like you can't get in his way. And it's just so cool to see them and look up to them. So definitely I would say Patrick for a non-musical person. She froze again.
Wow.
Oh.
And we're back. I don't know why it's doing that. So you were saying you were little tiny and skating on the ice, and he was out there as well?
Yeah. And then just I think whenever his music came on, everyone would just like go to the side and watch, and he's just so incredible. And the dedication to put like all those hours into something that you love.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring. So I think for sure I would say him as a non-musical person, kind of in the sports sphere, but I think that he has a lot of the qualities that I look up to, like dedication and all that. Yeah.
That would be that would be neat to I love figure skating, so that would be, I like that answer. That would be a good one. All right, now this is just a silly one, but it's fun. If you could be any kind of animal,
oh yes,
what animal would you be and why?
I've gotten this so much, even in like business interviews.
Have you? Yeah.
I ask you this. My answer has changed over the years, but right now I'd say a bird, which is not what a lot of people think, but I think it'd be so cool to fly.
Yeah.
And just see the world from like flying in an airplane. I'm that person that sits by the window.
Oh yeah, me too.
Looks out the window for so long until the plane is above the clouds and then you can't see anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So cool. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely some sort of bird. I think one of the bigger ones, because I think being a small bird is hard. You're at the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah. If you're going to be a bird, go big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so right now it's a bird because flying would be so cool.
That is cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, speaking of that, have you ever done or ever thought of skydiving?
Okay, so it's kind of weird that I say flying is really cool because I'm a little bit afraid of heights.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it doesn't really make sense. I want to fly in the fact that like if I was a bird, I know I wouldn't fall, right? Like you don't just So no, I wouldn't skydive because I'm pretty afraid of heights. I though comparing it to bungee jumping, I would consider skydiving. Bungee jumping, I would never consider doing. I think that's
I think bungee jumping actually scares me more than skydiving does. Yeah. Because if that bungee cord breaks, you're gone.
And you're also jumping head first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I used to think that I wanted to go skydiving. And I really did want to. But because of my neurological conditions, there's no way I could now. But I honestly think I would get up there and then I would chicken out.
I think I might too.
Yeah, I think I would end up chickening out. And I definitely don't think I will bungee jump. But I do want to like zip line through a rainforest.
I love zip line, yeah.
Now
it's not over like crazy heights. It's more like you said, through a rainforest, so you just like see views.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than like over a cliff.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna I don't want to go zip lining over the Grand Canyon or anything like that.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Nothing that I'm gonna look down and it's like thousands of feet down or something. No, but to where I might have a chance of still living. But yeah, I zip lining for sure but it would have to be through some like cool area, like a rainforest or something.
For sure.
Some beautiful type of nature, not just at a zip line park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That to me, that doesn't interest me. But yeah. So what is the most daring thing that you have done, like sports wise, or went to conquer your heights fear? Or have you?
I've been over that. I did the glass floor on the CN Tower. So it's like if you can do the stairs or the elevator, but you can go up to the top and there's like a restaurant. There's lots of things in CN Tower, but there's a glass floor that you can walk on and you look down and it's like all the way down to the ground.
What tower did you say?
CN Tower in Toronto.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the tallest building in Toronto. So that was definitely very scary for me.
Yeah, that would be freaky as well. Yeah, I was like double checking on what you said because in Chicago there's the Sears Tower.
Oh.
And so I was like mistaken. But in that one, at the very top of it, there's also a restaurant.
Yeah.
But because it's so tall, you can like feel it swaying a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And to me, that was a little freaky. But I mean, construction wise, they do it that way purposely because it is so tall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an architect, so I don't necessarily understand all that, but that's what I was told and it makes sense to me. But yeah, if you stood perfectly still, you could feel it swaying just ever so slightly.
Oh my gosh.
That was kind of freaky to me.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm done. View's nice. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, we're just about out of time, Emily. I have enjoyed having you on here so much. What song would you like to take us out with?
I was thinking of a Lady Antebellum one. We were talking about them.
Yes, that sounds great.
I've been working on a cover of one of their songs from Ocean, their album that they put out. The most recent album that they put out. So it's super fun.
I love them. They're wonderful.
Yeah. Now I haven't recorded a cover of this on social media yet, but I think I want to try to do harmonies in it with myself, because the way that they do their harmonies is so cool. So I think it would be cool to try to figure something out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But this one, sir, can you hear a buzzing?
It might be my fan I have on.
No, I think it's my computer. So my computer's really old. And every once in a while it gets like overheated and it just buzzes. But anyways,
I don't hear it.
A little loud. But this one is called Patient for My Love. I'm blanking on the title, yeah. Patient with My Love. Yes.
All right.
Okay. I might have done it this time. I might have drank too much wine. I might have said something just can't take back. Always push till you cry. And I just don't know why. There's a way to turn around on this way to goodbye. 'Cause I'm coming back to my senses. I'm coming back like holy redemption. I'm coming back to the man that I was. So please don't give up. Be patient with my love. I might have done it this time. I might have drank too much wine. There's a way to turn around this way to goodbye. Oh, I could use some Jesus or a little more prayer. If I can make it to the middle, would you meet me there? 'Cause I'm coming back to my senses. Oh, I'm coming back like holy redemption. I'm coming back to the man that I was. So please don't give up. Be patient with my love. Yeah. So I'm coming back to us. I'm coming back to who I coming back to my senses. Oh, I'm coming back. Like holy redemption, I'm coming back to the man that I was. So please don't give up. Be patient with my love. Be patient with my love.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You did that really well. Really well. Roberto has joined us. Roberto, we're ending. Yeah, you'll have to catch the replay, Roberto, to catch the rest of the interview.
Roberto, yes, I sing first. You always request could be both. It's so amazing.
Well, you did that beautifully. I love that. So yeah, you should definitely post that on social media for everybody else to hear. That was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, really I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I definitely would. That's awesome. You definitely did it justice. So I hate to hear people sing cover songs and they just like completely change it from what it was, and then it doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Or but no, that one was absolutely good.
I think there's a balance between making it your own, but also keeping some of the originality to it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how I feel as well. But Emily, I have loved having you on here. I cannot wait for your single to release. Keep us updated on when that's going to happen. And then I'll have you back on so we can talk about it and see what's next and see what's coming up for you.
It's so exciting. Yeah. So if people are just joining, it will be released this summer. And if you follow Emily Kate Music, on Instagram, it's Emily Kate _music. But Facebook page, Emily Kate Music. Then you'll stay tuned in to everything. I will be promoting, announcing on all my social media. So yeah, I can't wait.
Yes. And then they can get your music from Spotify and all the other music outlets that there are out there. So Roberto will probably be the first one. So we will be anxiously awaiting for it. Emily, I've had a great time with you today. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's been a blast. And Facebook, YouTube, Instagram people, this is the end of the interview marathon for this week. There will not be another interview until June. So until then, y'all stay safe, stay healthy, and see you later. Bye.
Bye.